Hello and welcome to MGP299. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna, and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Yo.
What? Hello.
Only Pab can follow simple instructions, clearly. I asked you to say hello, not whatever the other two said.
Yo.
Yo.
They were the kids.
So do I.
Yeah.
It's not what I asked you to say, though, is it?
Oh, you sent me all Danny Dyer saying $2.99.
Look, I'm trying to get as close to saying it like a human as possible. I'm already dreading the fact that from next week on, they all begin with the number 3 that I can't say properly. I'm going to have to sit here biting my tongue for an hour before we start, just so that I accidentally say it right. Stupid numbers.
Let Anna say it each week. She's probably the only one who can pull it off.
I think after 299 episodes, I think it's probably time you did your 299 in charge, hosting, and I'll just sit in the background, turning up when I feel like it and swearing when I'm not supposed to. I'm going to take on the Sheepdog role from next week.
Yeah, all right. As long as Pab continues to edit and sound check and record, I'll host. It's probably about time I did something on this show. I ain't played anything in 2 weeks. There's my gaming section done.
Wow. Does this mean you're going to start? I can't believe we're going to put Sheepdog in charge for the start of E3 as well.
There we go. I'm all queued up on that.
Are we doing like 5 episodes next week? Are we doing one a day?
I ain't got time.
No chance.
Aren't you on school holidays now, you fraud?
For me?
Yeah.
I've got 2 exams on E3 week.
I thought you meant on E3 for a second then. I was like, what is this?
Actually, I'm already going to be very busy doing my E3 reaction videos that I did last year. That went down surprisingly well, so I'm not available. You do what you want.
Surely they're just videos of you gasping.
Yeah, kinda.
Exactly, you can do that.
At the end, Pab, whoa. At the end of every press conference, I do a video.
No, you didn't.
Reacting to it. I did.
No, you didn't. No,
I
you
did.
didn't. I know
I
you
did
didn't.
like the
You went
first
to
3.
bed. You went to bed.
Yeah, but I still did the videos. Check my channel.
Let's check the
exist.
tape. Let's check the tape.
But I'm going to be doing that this year again. Well, I'll attempt to. Looking at the schedule, I can do EA because that's 7 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. I can manage to stay up that late.
Yeah, but you could do that one now. It's just going to be shooty stuff.
And then on Sunday 9 p.m. it's Microsoft. Well, I can stay up till like 10:30, 11 o'clock to do Microsoft. 2:30 a.m. is Bethesda. Anna will keep me awake for Bethesda.
I can't keep you awake. I have an exam at 9:30 that morning.
Oh,
I can't stay up till get up at 2:30, wait till 4:30, then get up at 6. I don't think so. I'll just have to get the highlights when I come home at dinner time.
Anna, an authentic private detective CSI would just run on coffee, surely.
It's not. But it's not for that. It's for GCSE.
Ah, okay.
It's physics, so not my strongest.
So really, the only 2 I'm not going to be able to do straight away are Bethesda and Sony, because they're the 2 that are in the middle of the night. And let's face it, neither of them are going to have any games anyway, are they? Bethesda have already blown their load.
No, because you're gonna get to that, and they're gonna have Elder Scrolls 6, and I don't know what else. They will. They can't leave it this long without an Elder Scrolls game. Though they do seem to do a lot on that ESO.
All Bethesda will do at E3 is they'll take the existing Fallout 76 graphic that they released earlier this week, and they'll add, probably using, I would say, the Impact Bold font, coming 2022 at the bottom of it, and that'll be it.
Nah, it'll come out next year. This year.
Based on what they did last year, where they said we're focusing on games that come out this year, I imagine they're probably doing something similar.
So excitable.
Might be wrong. Might be completely wrong. You might be right, Kev.
It made me happy, so.
What have they said since the initial leak about 76? Is it an MMO?
Don't know. There's some things out tomorrow, not tomorrow, on the 4th of June, some documentaries that I'm interested in watching from Bethesda, so we shall see.
Is it about that city they nuked so they could film what happened to people when an apocalypse happened on them?
I don't know.
Someone
sent me a link, I looked, and it said 4th of June. I was like, okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah. I was going to send you the same links, but I thought you'll
No one's sending me the link then. I like links.
I'll send you the link later on there.
Cool. I look forward to it.
Yeah,
so
good.
We've got E3 next week.
Yes.
Which is exciting times. And then it's the World Cup. Goodness me. What a busy time we've got coming
somewhere in that we've got to fit a 48-hour episode.
48-hour episode, my eye. What did we do for episode 200?
24-hour episode, I think.
We did not. We did that for 100. We stopped trying by 200, surely.
No, I think, what was it 200?
Oh, it was the first. No, it was the first 24-hour Twitch stream we did for 200, wasn't it? I played Football Manager for 24 hours on Twitch, and you went home in a sulk because Dave kept jumping on your lap. I remember it distinctly now.
Oh yeah, he broke my laptop, and you owe me 500 quid. I remember.
Sheepdog cries because he doesn't know how to handle a dog, and storms home in the middle of a 20. Top that.
I didn't storm home.
Was that 200? Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was thinking I wasn't around for that. I didn't do that.
I mean, to be honest, Pab, judging on how long the third wheel normally sticks around for, you should probably be on your way by around.
You know, when I was writing out the panel for September, I did consider putting Pab's name in because I thought third wheels don't normally last this long. No, I actually considered. I wonder if we have a fifth wheel by then. Was actually what was the real consideration.
Who's pregnant?
You, Kev, because it had. The worst thing happened as well. And Pab, you're going to feel my pain on this. So EGX asked people who want to do panels at EGX to put themselves forward. I showed it to Kev. We thought it'd be a good idea to put ourselves forward. We haven't been accepted, but it'd be cool if we were. But on the list, it asked what you're all about, what you're doing, and then I clicked onto the next bit. Before we could submit the form, we had to submit who was going to be on the panel. It had options for 4 panelists and a host. So I wrote everybody's names in as panelists because I refuse to accept that Kev's the host. And then it said I had to put a host in. And I sat there and I thought, if I put my own name in, I'm going to have to host it and it's going to be a nightmare. I don't want to put Pabarana in that position. So then I had to write Kevin as the official host of...
Finally, I am acknowledged as king of the podcast. You're welcome, everybody. I will fight my way through the 300s just for you.
Yeah. So if I'd have known that 2 hours later you were going to hand the gauntlet over to me and make me do it because I'm the only one who can say 3, then I wouldn't have done it. But there's a lot of politics involved in committing to do a show in 4 months' time.
Exactly. But yeah, if you're listening from EGX, which I assume you are, we very much want to do MGPX at EGX.
No, we don't.
We do.
We do.
I don't.
Why?
Don't.
We'll park you somewhere. That's all right.
I won't be on.
Why?
I just don't like to, Kevin.
You've done it before.
No, I don't. But I don't want to do it. You make me do it, and I don't want to do it. I will not enjoy it. I will not be doing it.
You can be cheerleader.
I don't want to be cheerleader. I don't want any part of it. Thank you.
You could be audience member who stages questions for us.
You could be the only person who sits and watches the whole thing.
I'm all right, thank you.
Not even committing to watching it. Amazing.
You could be the one who stands up and asks why on earth we're letting Kev be the host when clearly we're better suited. That could be your role.
Maybe.
Or ask him directly why Eurogamer haven't purchased the rights to Mature Gamer yet and made us all millionaires. That's a good question. Should be on everyone's lips.
Certainly on my lips. If anyone wants to buy MGP for a reasonable price, it doesn't even have to be Eurogamer. I don't care who it is, the BBC, Fox.
Do you know what? It's been making me laugh on Twitter this past month. I was going to say I don't know why I follow them, but we know why I follow them. So I follow the Team Rocket Twitter account. Team Rocket for Pokemon. And the person who owns it has been trying to flog it for about 2-3 months now. Think of all the things you could do. And it's like, I can't think of anything you could do with the Team Rocket Twitter account. All they've been doing is tweeting pictures that people send them of Team Rocket. But they've been if anyone listening wants to own the Team Rocket Twitter account, you know, that person's there. I'm waiting for like Game Freak or the Pokemon Company to just sue them and say, look, it's our copyright. Give us our Twitter account.
I might buy it and just make it about salad.
make it about what's it called, lettuce and the team you're on that promotes lettuce.
Exactly. I think that would be awesome. Right, are we going to actually do a podcast at some point?
I thought that was it.
Have you hit record yet?
We've been recording for 10 minutes, so yeah.
Cracking.
That's the usual 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes of waffle out at the start.
And this is that show that we just do for 10 minutes, isn't it?
Oh, that's one episode. We'll start the next one now.
Yeah. Remember that Sheepdog when we had a show that people used to download and it used to get into the charts and stuff? Wasn't that? Those are the days.
What, the one where we did 10-minute episodes?
I want to know what you mean by abusing it.
Oh, right. I realised it has more followers than all of our accounts put together, so I started tweeting my links out on that instead.
What? It's got more than me? I think
so. I don't know how many you've got, but this one's got nearly 5,000.
Oh, I've got more than that.
Oh, whatever.
What was that? Was it called We're from the Internet? Was it Kevin Steve?
One or the other.
We're from the... No, it's not that. Are you telling me Kevin Steve's got 5,000 followers on Twitter? Because that never used to be the case.
Yep, Kevin Steve, 4,400.
Why the hell aren't we using that?
Well, I am. I'm promoting all my Steve stuff on it. About your Kev stuff.
Yeah. It feels like there's something amiss. Goodness me, you psychopath. This is just a retweet of Sheepdog's feed.
Yeah, only every now and again.
Well, I've gone back as far as August 2016, and it's just retweets of your stuff. If anyone who's only ever followed that wouldn't know I ever started doing YouTube.
That's your problem, mate. I didn't even know I'd been retweeted. That must have been on auto somehow. I don't even know how I would have done that, because I didn't know it was retweeting my blog stuff.
Well, video games then. There's been some big ones since we last conversed. I guess we talked about them a little bit from Pab's hotel room at the weekend, but we hadn't really played stuff massively at that point. But obviously, presumably, we've now all had a nice big fat go on Detroit because it's awesome.
I haven't got any money. I can't afford it, but I really want it. It looks so good.
It is so good. If you can't afford to buy it, I can recommend a good YouTube series you could watch so you can stay up to speed with it. It's really good.
I voted for you to play it in your pants, mate.
I did, but I am playing it in my pants on YouTube. It's a compromise.
Yeah.
You never see me from the nipples down anyway. Who knows what's going on down there in my videos?
Oh, my word. Okay.
But, Pab, what were you right about?
Was I right in telling you this is a very good Telltale game?
No.
All of their games are very good.
It's a very good Quantic Dream game.
See, I've never played one, so this is all I have for reference is it's a Telltale game.
I mean, Heavy Rain was out years before Telltale even knew how to spell their own name. So
yeah. Telltale games are like Quantic games that have just had the budget and the artistic flair and the plot taken out of them.
Yeah. But this I've played probably the first 2.5, 3 hours now. And so far, it is right up there with Heavy Rain. It is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah. So I don't like the gimmicks. I don't like the gimmicks on how it controls. So
I have whinged a little bit about the gimmicky nonsense where you have to rub the controller. I don't see why that needs to be in there.
I don't mind the rub the controller because that's just generally for reading stuff or doing stuff like that, or the analog stick up and round sort of thing. And that's not too bad. It's when you've got to lift the controller up or tilt it over, and I don't need to do the motion control stuff. Just let me
turn that off. I've not done that at all.
I haven't got any motion control stuff on mine.
No.
Oh, I've not even done. I've not turned that off at all. I've just been getting on with it. But
I'm sure
I used to it now as well. Damn.
I don't have anything like that.
No, it's not even. I've not turned it off. So unless Anna turned it off globally.
Globally.
Yeah.
So my visa stuff's gone down as well.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you've got to do press this button, then lift it, or tilt it to one side to rotate something, or something like that. Have you not had to do that at all?
No.
Really? Yeah, I've had to do that.
You sure you didn't just drop the controller?
No. Because if you drop the controller, it recognises it doesn't do the action sort of thing. You've got to do the said action with it, else it stops the whole sequence.
Interesting. How far into this are you? Is this treats that we've got later on?
No. That happens quite early on. I mean, what have I just done?
Be very careful what you say next, because I will drive up to Bolton and break your face if you offer me any spoilers.
I'm only going to say, like, I've probably done. I can't even think what I've done. There's been a chase sequence. That's about it. That's what I can say.
Ruined it for me. I haven't chased anything or been chased.
Somebody I follow on Twitter accidentally tweeted, "I've just completed this," and posted a picture of the achievements. And I was
that's annoying.
I clicked it and was like, "That looks like a spoiler." So I responded to him, and he was like, "Oh my god, it was! I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Mate, I've already forgotten what it said. I've got such a bad memory. I can't remember what I read." So I don't think I was spoiled, but he deleted it for anyone else, because I guess you three would have known what the spoiler was and would have been upset.
A lot of the achievements are based on end of sequence, sort of like end of section sort of thing, aren't they? Like completing this section, completing that section.
Is it true that anyone can die at any point, sort of thing? Well, not any point, but plot points.
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
it depends on what difficulty level that you play on. Because if you're on the hardest difficult, there's only two difficulties. There's story mode, and I forget what the other one is called. But if you're on the harder difficulty level, then there are permadeaths in it. Yeah.
Right.
I'm on normal.
I just played
it on normal.
I don't know which one defaults as normal.
The standard, the story mode, and then there's an easy mode over it.
So you've got permadeaths in yours then. Yeah, I put mine down to story easy mode because I'm a big girl.
They say it's more difficult. You can still get permadeath in your version. It's just a lot harder to happen.
Good.
So it can still happen. It's kind of stressful.
That writes off some of the achievements as well. Then I think, because
I don't know.
Death, I think was what someone else has said.
It's a weird thing. Because I failed something today, and I went to reload it, and then realised, oh, this game's carrying on. Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, I got away with it.
Pab.
I got away with it, but it's because it's one of these stupid bloody lift the controller things. It failed on me, but the game carried on going regardless. So I was like, oh, I want to do that again. And I was like, I can't. I've got to keep going now. Which was cool, but it was also nerve-wracking. It also made me realise, this game, like I say, it does have consequences, and I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah, there's a fight sequence and where I mispressed one of the quick time event buttons. I pressed X instead of circle or something, and got my face caved in for it. And then in the next scene, the face is caved in still. Whereas if I hadn't have mispressed the button, face not caved in, presumably.
So could you cave face now?
This is Marcus, I presume, then.
No, this is Kara.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, see, me and Aaron, that didn't happen to me at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing it right, because the first one. So, have you watched his first video?
No.
It misses out all of the good stuff in it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Now,
it just goes straight outside.
Hold on. Right, let me stop you there.
Irritates
Hold on. Let me explain why I've done that. And it's for the same. I had a proper rant.
I don't know what's going on there.
On my stream the other night, I had a proper rant about this because a few people have said, "Kev, you're playing it wrong." Right at the start of the game, it gives you two options. Your two options are discover more about the case or some blurby wording like that, or save the kid at all costs. You are presented with two choices.
You're not, but they're not choices. But they're not choices.
They are.
They're not.
They are. They are. So I saved the kid at all costs.
Right.
Just went straight there and saved them.
Right, no. Because as you're going around, you have a probability of if you and the child survive. If you go around the apartment, that probability goes up. Yes, but you killed yourself.
Hold on.
You end up killing yourself.
Spoilers. Only because I pressed the button that said hold on. There is a button. Stop talking over me. We're doing a podcast. There's a button that said sacrifice yourself. I didn't have to die. I chose to die because it was the most likely option to save the kid. And that's what I chose to do. I chose to sacrifice myself to save the kid at all costs. And that's the brilliant thing about this game. There isn't a right way and a wrong way to play it. You play it however you want to play it, and it will be a completely different experience for different people who are playing it. And it's all fine. I cannot get my head around why, when there's a kid being dangled off a balcony by a rogue android, why I would go and ruffle through his sock drawer to see if there's any clues to the case.
Oh.
I'm going to go out there and save the kid.
Okay, that's what this is referring to, right? Okay.
And that's why this game is so good, because we've both played it in completely different ways. We've both really enjoyed doing it, and we've had a completely different experience. And any game that's capable of doing that in its opening chapter, and then do it again and again and again throughout the game, because it had, like, similar with the Telltale stuff, it has the little percentage things on there that tell you how other people in the world have played it. And there are some decisions I've made where it's like, 75% of the world did it this way too. But there's some other stuff that I've done. Oh, okay, what I've done, only 25% of people have done. That's interesting. What were they thinking? Why did they do it the other way? And you can't even see what the other options are. The only way to find out is to go through and play the whole game again, making different choices. It's so cleverly done. It's, like I say, I'm 2 or 3 hours in and it already feels like a masterpiece. It's just very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, let's say this now. So you went in there, we can probably spoil this in the sense of it's the demo and it's the very first chapter. So you went in there and just went to save the kid straight away.
Yeah, just went out onto the balcony and saved the kid.
Whereas I went in there and I went to study this guy and see if I can get more information on him and find out what's going on. So you're thinking, I can't. You're right in a sense, because I don't know. I sometimes think I don't think of myself as the android. I think of myself as me, and what would I do? Whereas the android is in there to do a job. I don't know. It's difficult to say. There's so many.
Even me in real life, if it was me walking onto that balcony and there's a kid being dangled off it, I can't imagine a scenario where I do anything else than go and save the kid.
But you are a negotiator.
You probably wouldn't sacrifice.
You want information on this whole situation, don't you? You don't just go out there going, "All right, who are you?"
I'm not sure the kid is being dangled off a balcony. I don't sit and read to find out what's going on.
Read.
Yeah, but you get briefed by people, and you get.
But this is the brilliant thing of it. I have no idea what I declined doing because I had.
But they're really good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're viewing it and this again, it's why the game is so good, because you're viewing it as a game and you want to get the maximum gameplay experience out of it and uncover everything. I want to go through it role playing. I am that android and I will act the way I would act in real life. And I'm not stopping to have a conversation with anybody on my way out there to save that kid. I'm just not.
But you don't converse with anyone.
Well, so you're not reading anything. You're not looking at anything. To anyone. What on earth did I miss out on?
Really cool bits of the game.
Doing what though?
So did you do the Batman like detective mode thing?
Yeah, and ignored it all.
No, did you do that then, or did you?
Yeah. No, I did it and then ignored it and just went out onto the balcony.
I mean, so you did that bit, so you did get some information out.
Only because that's the tutorial. You just pressed it and it tells you to do that. So I did it and then ignored it and then went and saved the kid.
So did you save the fish?
I tried to, but a cutscene started before I got.
And then he walked off. But you could just pick it up at any point.
Again, because I'd walked into this.
Admittedly,
I'd walked into this flat and had a little look around. Oh, there's a fish on the floor. I'm walking towards the fish, and then suddenly I'm confronted by a parent whose child is about to die. I'm not going to stop and pick up the fish. I'm going to go and save the kid.
He's right in that one. That one is a bit optional.
They're all optional, and that's what's brilliant about it. I passed a mission today where I only completed 23% of it.
Okay.
But I passed it, and that's fine. I did what I needed to do to get a satisfactory outcome for me. And these branching storylines are just going to continue branching, presumably. Because just like in Heavy Rain, which you haven't played, but if you killed a character fairly early on in Heavy Rain, then the rest of the story changes because obviously the stuff that they would have been involved in, they can't be involved in anymore. So certain scenes then have different characters as part of them. Yeah. Certain scenes don't happen at all. Some different options, and it branches off and branches off and branches off. You could play through. Again, I've not read anything about this game, so I don't know how many options there are. But with Heavy Rain, there was dozens of different ways you could play through that to get completely different outcomes. There were ways to play through that and never find out who the killer was, but still complete the game.
Yeah, just don't get the good ending, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just think there needs to be more stuff like this. This is what gaming should be. This is what I want. I don't want to run around shooting stuff. I don't want to be having my reflexes tested or anything like that. This is proper grown-up gaming. This is gaming as an art form. This is gaming at its highest possible level. This is just brilliance. Watch me next week say, it went a bit crap from then on. I didn't like how it ended.
Oh, no. No.
At the moment, it is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm probably just a bit further ahead of you. Probably maybe an hour ahead of you at the most. And like I say, it is kind of gripping. I've had crisscrosses now in timelines, sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
So I knew at some point this was going to be the case where paths will cross, obviously, at some point. But yeah, it's so. I tell you what did you think of the main menu?
What, that talks to you?
Yeah, that talks to you.
Awesome. Have you interrupted my video intro?
Did you? Did you get the can you take a quick survey for us?
Yes, I did.
I've taken a survey for him now, which asked me a load of questions, including God and all these different random questions. What do you think of AI? What do you think will be most futuristic achievement in it? What will be the closest futuristic achievement or whatever it is? And I tell you what it did today. I turned it on this afternoon when I got in from work, and it went, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but the save data had been corrupted."
Oh, no.
I went, you what? And she went, "Only kidding." I was livid at the time, but slightly relieved. I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
messing with me. And just, yeah, it is a very good game. It's a very good game. And would you play it again?
I would. And I played Heavy Rain through several times, and I don't replay games, but because you can have such different outcomes. Like there's where the androids get the option to become deviant. I didn't realise until looking at a flowchart afterwards that you can choose not to. You can just stand there and not go deviant. And I
love it when games do that. Silence as an option, but you don't really.
So I want to go back and see what happens. Okay, if I just don't do, what if I just don't do anything? What happens now?
The story is based on the breaking out of your programming, from what I can gather.
Yeah. I feel like that's affected me now. Like, if I go and play this, I'm going to know that I can do that now. You've said that, and I.
Well, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Yeah,
you are completely open to act or not act, however you see fit. I mean, I now want to replay the demo bit at the start and just not bother going out on the balcony. What happens if I just hang out in the corridor with the fish? How long does it let me hang out there?
I think at some point they force you out.
Do they? Or do they just let you sit?
I think at some point they start shooting the police that are stood by the window, and then they kind of just usher you out at a certain stage because you've had long enough now, get out, sort of thing. Yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting to see at what points you can just choose not to take part, and at what points you can just choose to do something really weird and random. And I'm already looking back on it and seeing that there were obviously other options to do things a completely different way to how I've chosen to do them, and how actions you take in previous scenes will then have a massive impact on what you choose to do in later scenes. Thinking that I don't want to do any more spoilers, so I won't be any more specific than that. But there's stuff there's decisions you make early on that even in the first 2 hours of the game that will affect the options that you've got.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say that because I mean you're playing it like you say. For example, the first section that you did. If you didn't, in later parts of the game, if you don't look at certain areas, you will miss opportunities that prompts that come up because you just physically don't know about this thing that you didn't look at earlier on. And it's interesting to, like you say, the flow charts are just kind of fascinating to see where it would go because they do just branch off massively. Not just like a different option and it takes you back on the same track. It just goes completely.
The one that I've just finished this afternoon when I was playing it, it felt the most telltale-y one that we've had so far. I felt like everything that was happening was inevitable.
Right.
And that there was just no way for me to do anything other than what I was doing. There weren't any other options. I'm just watching a cutscene, and then it got to the flowchart at the end, and there weren't just loads of branching options. There were 4 completely different endpoints for that scenario. So it wasn't just that it was the most open one so far, but it was hidden inside what felt like inevitability. It's so skillfully done. Oh, I can't say enough good things about this game. It's a reason to go out and buy a PS4 if you don't already have one. It's the only game you need to buy for this year if you only buy one game a year. It's going to be game of the generation unless something spectacular comes along, because it just doesn't get better than this kind of thing. Ooh. Someone talk about something else so I can calm down.
Let's have a look. What else have I played? Anna. Yoku's Island Adventure. Yeah. This is the one from that we saw at EGX. The very end of EGX last year.
It was the last 5 minutes we were in there.
Yeah.
We happened to come across it. And now it's out.
It's out now, and it's a Metroidvania mixed with a pinball game. And there's something to it which is pretty damned amazing. I hate Metroidvanias. I hate them.
I've not played them.
I just don't like them particularly. But this one's kind of got its hooks in me a little bit. It's before I started digging into Detroit. When I started playing this was all I was thinking about at the time. I was thinking I kind of want to just go and play that. I could take the Switch to work and play it at dinner time.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to just play this all the time. It's just such a cool thing. The only thing I'm not massive on is the map.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes it just blows out to be too far, and then I can't fathom out. I want a quest system. I want a quest to look at what I'm meant to be doing. I want it to sort of mark it on the map so I can find where it is and need to know where I go. Instead of me panning around this big map and trying to hover over this tiny icon that says, "Oh, you need to go to this." It's I've only
getting there, isn't it?
Yeah. There's part of that. I think I've just got to the post place, and there's one thing it wants. I got the slug vacuum thing.
Yeah.
Which vacuums up the slugs and you become you more powerful or whatever. You can start smashing stuff with it, can't you?
Yeah.
That way. That was pretty cool. The only thing I'm finding difficult is realising I'm not very good at pinball.
Yeah, no am I.
I'm just slamming the ball. I'm like, I want to go up that chute there and that way. And it's like, oh no, you're just looping around, just looping around, just keep doing it for 20 minutes, just loop around.
Oh, there's no point me playing this game because you two are both a lot better at pinball than I am. If Play Expo's anything to go by.
It's really, it's like you've got to. It's trial and error, obviously, with pinball, but you've got to realise. Okay, I want the ball to roll right to the edge of the flipper and then fling it off. You can't just sort of just ping it and it'll just go where you think it'll go. It won't make it. It'll play real physics of pinball.
Yes.
So it's cool. It's really cool. It's an ingenious idea, and like I said, the only thing that's dragging it down for me is the minimap's not amazing.
It's not great.
The quest. I just want a quest. I just want a quest page just so I can see what I'm looking at. What I need to do, because it starts off and it goes, okay, go to this place to do this mission, and on that way you gain 3 more quests on the way to that mission, and then to get to that first mission, you fathom about, okay, well the second mission, you can go down there and do that, and then to the quest to get that quest, and you have another 2 quests. I'm like, I'm getting lost in it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it, I'm just along for the ride as well. I'm just like, I'm just going where he's taking me. I'm just pinging this ball around all over the shop. I don't care where he's going, whatever. The missions are there. I'll get to him at some point. I'm just pinging around the map. There was a point where you had to give an animal, like a monster type thing, some mushrooms. And there's 2 types of mushrooms, isn't there? You remember that bit? Relatively early on.
I know there's mushrooms, but I didn't know there was 2 types.
There was where you collected the mushrooms, you carried on going right. There's a little cave with some mushrooms in there that are like poisonous mushrooms that make them.
Yeah.
And it gives you an option to give one or the other. I give him the good type. I don't know whether I was a dilemma for that at a certain point. I was like going, I don't know which. Do I want him to be asleep for a long time, or I give him the good mushrooms and he became friendly with me? So I was like, okay. That was a good choice, but I didn't know whether that was just going to be like a one-time pass sort of thing, and I've got to go and find mushrooms again. And the sleeping mushrooms would have been better for it, but there is. It seems quite extensive, this game, for what it is. I mean, what was it, 15 quid, something like that? Not that dear. But it's really cool Metroidvania. That's different. It's very different.
So yeah, I've never played a Metroidvania in my life.
You must have done.
No. So, but...
I don't think of any now.
Metroid or Castlevania would be the obvious example.
No, I don't know them at all. So yeah, the game is good. I'm very enjoying it, but the frustrations you've been saying are driving me insane. So I've got, like, I swear to God, let me look at my map. I have... Hold on, can I see it now? I have, like, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10, like, points of interest.
Yes, right.
On my thing. And I go to these places and I don't have the right equipment to do these things.
Yeah.
And it is driving me insane.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to
do. Because there's no quest sort of markers, it's like saying you get to the point of where you need to do the certain thing, and it goes, oh, but you need this equipment first. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, where's the equipment? And without the guy at the start telling you, who gives you the quest, says you need to get this first or whatever, it doesn't really tell you where to go for it.
No.
Which is why I've just kind of aimlessly been bumbling around and coming across things. It's like, oh, here's this thing that you need. Okay, brilliant. I wasn't really, like I said, I'm just kind of bumbling my way around it. There's going to come a point where I just can't do anything past that. I'm going to have to start fathoming out where things are.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is just filling out the map at the minute. That's it. And posting letters, because that's what you do. You're a postman. You're a postman. You're a postman.
With a ball.
Yeah. And it's got a little ball that rolls around, and it's
but it's fun. But there's some niggles that are irritating me a little bit. Like, I have had to turn it off the other day because it was just getting on my nerves. I was on, like, I don't know, in a pinball bit, and it just wouldn't go the way I wanted it to go. And I was just like, you know what? I'll just turn it off. I can always come back to it because it does have a good save system.
Yes.
Every time you run over a flower.
Yeah, it saves. That is useful. Yeah. And there's a lot around, to be fair. I was just thinking, I want to turn it off now. And I'm like, okay, let's just find a flower and just roll down the hill. And there it is. Right, okay, good, I can turn it off. And that's all. That's good for it. That is very good. I mean, I suppose Metroman is.
But for 15 quid, it's very good.
Yeah.
And if you've got, it's on everything, isn't it?
Although not physically, apparently.
No, it's a digital game. But it's on Switch. I know it's on PS4. I think it's on Xbox.
I think it's on Xbox. Yeah, I know it comes out on disc in the middle of the month.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, definitely. Because I had it pre-ordered from Amazon, and on the 28th, I couldn't fathom why there was no. Because normally it would say dispatched on its way for the 29th, and I was like, "What is happening here?" So I cancelled it anyway. But before I did that, I tweeted the developer, and I was like, is there an issue with Amazon? Are they not sending them out? And then they got back to me after I'd cancelled it and bought PlayStation credit that they said the digital is out first and then the physical is out 2 weeks later. So
investigative journalism from Anna there.
Yeah. I just wanted to know because I really wanted to play it, and it was like the 28th at like 6 at night, thinking, "What is happening? Why have I not had a dispatch note?" And then I found out why, because I went and tweeted them, and they got back to me.
Well, a bit more general. It is out on everything. I just had a look. It is out on literally everything.
It's on Steam, isn't it?
Version at EGX. I'm sure it was the Xbox version we were playing there.
Yeah. So there you go then.
Yeah, it's so good.
Splendid.
I'll buy it.
What else have I played? I've played a little bit of today. The Mario Tennis Aces demo / online test type thing that's come out today. It's on till I think it's over this weekend, maybe Monday, 4th. I think it is. I think it's the 4th. So there's, if you're listening to this, it is on there. Just download the free demo, and it's a Mario Tennis game. It's pretty damn good. You like Mario Tennis, Kev?
Yeah, but I ain't paying 50 quid for it. If they put it out for a $5, I'll buy it. But
free.
It's just yeah, but the actual game won't be. I'm not playing a demo only to like it and then not buy it. That just seems silly. I'm not paying 50 quid for a tennis game ever. That's just stupid.
It might be good though. You might enjoy it.
It can only be so good, and it's still just tennis. It's not 50. A tennis game never is and never will be worth £50. I don't care what pretty character you put on it or how good the ball whacking is. It's still just tennis.
I mean, you're probably right there, but I'll probably still get it anyway because I'm a numpty.
Yeah,
but it's got some gimmicks to it this time.
Oh, good! Now I want it.
Yeah, it's not just your standard like just whack the ball to and throw sort of thing. You sort of build a meter, and you build a meter that you can then do like turn into slow mo, so you can catch the ball and stuff like that.
So it's not even good tennis. It's now stupid
no,
Mario Strikers charge tennis.
So well, I don't know. I don't remember Mario Strikers, but it's like a trick shot mode as well, where you flick the analog stick and you sort of backflip or do whatever the character does. Mario backflips.
Talking me out of this.
It's insane. It's kind of cool because it lets you get to shots that you wouldn't get to. It lets you like backflip right across the court, and it charges your meter. In doing so, charges your meter up and gets you back across the court really quickly. So it's a way of I don't know. I was skeptical of it at first, but it kind of works. So I don't know. Like I say, it's on over the weekend. Give it a try. No. What's the problem? Why not give it a go? You might like it.
It might be good, in which case I want to buy it, but I won't because it's 50 quid. And the other option is it's rubbish, in which case I'll be annoyed that I wasted my time trying it. There's no good outcome of me trying it.
Well, you don't play it then. Everyone else
is not going to play it.
Play it, but not shut up you. Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. Like I say, it's an alright tennis game. I'm curious to see what sort of like, because this is an online stuff. I only played against the computer. It was quite difficult, to be fair. It wasn't easy. Admittedly, I wasn't trying to learn the ropes and what to do, but it did take me like 5. It was like a 5-game match sort of thing, which I expected to beat him 3-0. But I'm curious to see what the online stuff like. See what how people have enjoyed. In the actual game, how they're getting on in it. And I want to see if there's a story mode. There's occasionally some sort of story mode in it, but there probably won't be. So we'll see. That's on this weekend. So that's what I thought I'd mention it in this show because otherwise it's not current. It's out of date as of next week. I think that is it.
Anna, have you played any more State of Decay 2?
No.
I've not played it at all.
Because we've been out all week.
No, but you've played lots of other stuff. I just wondered that.
No, I've not played that. So I played some Fallout 4 on the Xbox because I hadn't finished it and was all hyped up about Fallout 74, 76. I don't know. There's so many numbers. I don't know what's happening.
That, 76 thing. I thought you'd be more aware of, I just assumed you'd be all clued up on what it was going to be, and I thought I'd read about it, but they were saying it's in Fallout 3. It's a vault just outside of DC. It has 500 people live in it.
It does.
They're one of the first groups to leave the vault.
Yeah, 25 years after the bomb had dropped, and then they go out and live. When it starts, there's only one guy. There's only one person. I don't know if it's a guy or a woman, but there's just one person. And they didn't show anybody else living there. So maybe he's alone, or maybe he's the overseer. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a game to me, though. It didn't have the same. It didn't have I don't know. Just didn't have a hook. It was just. It looked like a board game in a vault.
Really?
But video game type. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't look right to me. I don't know. But we'll see in 2 weeks. But I know where it is. I know why it's there. I just don't understand what it is. Because Fallout 4 only came out, 3 years ago?
Which is the same sort of size gap as between 3 and New Vegas. That was 2 years, I think, that gap. So if this is just Fallout 4 too, like New Vegas was,
it's not. They're not. It's not a. It's
back in Washington, isn't it? It's back up that way, but a bit more south than.
That'd be just 3 Dog territory, then, would it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Presumably,
which would explain. Which would which would explain where he's been all these years when we've tried to talk to him.
Yeah, but this is 20. This is 25 years though.
Maybe it's only one dog then.
Maybe.
Oh.
But I want it to be an MMO because I would lose my mind if it was an MMO.
Okay.
Because you've got ESO and that's doing really well. Like people, and I even picked it up today from the shelf. I was thinking, do I want to go back into this? Because I got a whole summer of not doing a lot. Well, I put it back down again, but it didn't. There was no mention of Zenimax, which has put me it is a Fallout game, but not a Fallout game like the previous ones. It just didn't have the right flavour, if you know what I mean.
So what I'm reading here is it's an RPG that's heavily inspired by games like DayZ and Rust.
See, I don't want to play them games.
Where are you getting that from, though, Pab?
But these are rumours. That's the problem.
It's Kotaku, based on 3 people familiar with
some
the project.
nerd at Kotaku making up. I mean, see what they say at E3.
Oh yeah. But I mean,
so what
I'm reading now.
Basically, on was it Tuesday? We were taking Rue and I saw the Please Stand By on Twitter and I thought, oh, it's another hoax. But then I went on to Twitch and there it was and I lost my mind. Oh my gosh, I didn't know what was happening. But I don't know. I'll wait till June. What is June? I'll wait till E3 to make my
10th of June. Next week.
Yeah.
It's not made solely by Bethesda either. Made by another studio as well.
Yeah, it just, it doesn't sit right with me because they've not brought out an Elder Scrolls. They've not even mentioned Elder Scrolls 6. So they've got ESO.
Elder Scrolls Online is surprisingly doing well for them.
Yeah.
So at what point it's like similar to like GTA 5 when they were like GTA 5 the online stuff is bringing in the money for them and doing all sorts of stuff and then putting stuff into that and they're like going, you want some DLC for the story? No, we're not interested because this is what makes the money. So maybe they're doing that, or maybe they just got a studio going on the next one, and they're going, take your time. We've got this 76 in hand here that we can put out.
Yeah,
so who knows? Just take your time with it. Take your time with that. We've got another year for that now. We've got another Fallout game to put out. I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. It's exciting stuff.
I'll buy it because it has Fallout.
Oh yeah, I probably will as well. I've even played Fallout hardly at all, really, but I'll still buy it again anyway because I'm a numpty, like I said.
What else did I play? And then yesterday, I decided to install Mass Effect Andromeda again.
Oof.
I don't know why. Wow. I just because I played it when it came out and it was awful. Like the facial animations and all that was just, they were off. I'm not going to lie, they were off. They were very Pixar-y, not right.
I mean,
they have fixed it.
There was game-breaking bugs in it that was.
Oh, I never had a game.
I've actually seen people playing a game where they went to go and hand the quest in, and the quest giver physically wasn't there. There was nobody there to hand the quest into, but the marker was going here.
Yeah.
And the quest in here, and there's nobody there. I've seen people trying to hand in quests behind a wall. Someone's behind physically in a building.
Yeah.
And they're trying to hand the question to them, but they can't get in the building. They're locked in the building, so they can't get into these people. Weird. You can't hand quests in.
Yeah.
If I heard that, I'd just be a complete no. That would be stop. No, couldn't do that.
So I never run into any of that, but so the animations have been fixed. I haven't got that far into it because I forgot the start is very talk.
Yeah.
I was just today I just didn't want to play that, so I haven't played it on today. But so that's fixed. I don't like the cover system in it. The problems when I first played it was there was a blue. Are they Asaris? The blue people.
Blue people, yeah.
She would be leaning on I don't know. She would be leaning on a console that she's working on. But where the console was and where her arms were, she was turned around, so she was just in midair, away from the console. I was like, what are you doing? This is weird. But, so I played that for a little bit. It's fine, I guess.
I think that's what the thing is. It's just a very mediocre. It's not god-awful, but it's very much not to Mass Effect's high standards.
No, it's not Mass Effect 3. Well, 2 was... I loved 2.
3 was... I didn't mind. I played 3, I didn't mind 3, but I know people didn't like that so much. Yeah.
People just didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
So, it's on my PlayStation. Because, Kev kept taking Detroit away from me, so when I'm not allowed to play that...
Hold on, I bought that!
Doesn't matter! You played Edith Finch and I bought that! So... tit for tat and all that. But so when Kev comes in I have to turn it off, and when Kev goes on I have to pause, which is not appropriate sometimes when you're in stressful situations. But I played Detroit, been enjoying Detroit, been doing everything that I can possibly do in an environment. That's what I do. I like to have a look at everything in the room.
You're reading all them books, have you?
I have. I love the books, about the zoos and stuff. Love it.
Yep.
I think it because I read them, and then later on, you'll hear someone in the background and then talk about it. And
there are references to it.
What I have noticed that there is a lot of hockey going on, on the TVs. All there ever is. I don't know if it's just me, but all I keep seeing is hockey. For the love of God.
Big for hockey. I can't remember now.
I have no idea, but I just keep seeing it everywhere.
I don't know. But
I am quite far in the game though. So I've met the 3 people. I've been going through their stories.
That's where I finished actually. I went to
it's hard to say, isn't it?
I went to a boat.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I did half an hour after that.
Yeah, that's where I stopped.
Yeah,
so that's where we're at.
That was an annoying quest, though.
Yeah,
my God!
That meeting made me think. Damn. This is gonna bite me. This is gonna bite me now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I did that as well. It's I don't know where the story's going. I haven't had anyone cross any paths yet, which is strange.
I was saying that I've been watching some Westworld this week again, and that's based on all the trailers and stuff and the stuff that they've shown. That's what I was led to believe. It was just the robots have gained a consciousness that they are rebelling. Pretty much is what.
Well, it's like humans, isn't it? Have you ever watched Humans? That's on Channel 4.
I think so, maybe.
It's all a bit like that, really. Like they've woken up and they want to be free, but then how can they be free in a world that's world? You know what I mean? But yeah, it's lovely to look at. Looks better on my Pro than it does on the standard one.
It looks amazing.
It does. Like, because I first played it on the normal one, I was like, okay, it's fine. Then I put it on my Pro and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. It is a very delightful game.
Yeah.
And I think that is it. We've just had a really busy week, so I haven't played a massive amount of anything.
I want to finish God of War.
You have to finish God of War.
I really want to. I'm starting to get to podcasts in my feed, which is spoiler cast. And I'm like, God, delete all these. I can't listen to them right now. Put them later on. No. And I've got. What?
Do you have Far Cry 5?
Yes.
Season Pass?
No.
Because Far Cry 3 came out this week as well.
Yeah, I did.
The classic edition.
Right, but I'm like, I don't need to play that again. But
no, I'm just saying, if people have got the Season Pass,
it is.
You now get Far Cry 3 classic edition. I think it's like 2 weeks before it comes out for everyone. But I don't think it has. I think it's just the game. Because I really wanted to play really wanted to play Blood Dragon, but it doesn't seem to be on there, or I can't seem to find it. Yes, because there was base building and all that, but there's nothing in this. I think it's just Far Cry 3, and it looks splendid and bright and beautiful. Because this was last gen, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, 360, yeah.
Yeah, so because we have the little what's his name, Raz in a straw skirt over here. The bobblehead, so we still have that. But yeah, it look, because of the way Far Cry 5 is, where it's very very American, so you've got the feels, and then you've got this one that is very paradise and
tropical, isn't it? Yeah.
And tropical, yeah. It is like it looks really nice and really pretty. I don't know if they've done any change. I find it a lot harder to fight in 3 than I do in 5, though, which is bizarre. But I think that's just the way it's evolved over the years.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine that's the case, yeah.
And I think that is me done. Sheepdog.
I've not done anything new. I've been playing. I'm still trying to get.
You've been spotted at the local park, hanging around like a nerd.
Yeah, too many people cast comments about that in the wrong way. My mum told me to stop hanging around outside parks, and my wife looked at me like,
reasonable
"What the hell?"
recommendation.
No, it's not. I was with a load of people. Well,
you were one of a weird-looking men. 2 weird-looking men hanging around outside the park.
They were waiting for others to do a raid.
Nerds.
No, I'm still trying to get a Kerbal into space permanently. I'm refusing to watch all the stuff you sent me, Pab. What else am I doing? That bike game that I've forgotten the name of that I was reviewing last episode is cool. I'm in this annoying routine at the moment where I'm trying to fit in going out and doing all my Pokemon stuff in the evening and watch. All of our programs came to an end this past month, so all my time has been in like catching up on Arrested Development ahead of that starting back this week, and so on and so forth. So I've only really played stuff that I've already spoken about. I don't really want to rehash the same old stuff. I almost wanted to talk about Tapped Out, Kev, but I thought it's not the first 100 episodes. But that's been given some big updates that are quite cool. That's enough to say on it, I guess.
Anna, you've been playing that weird Pokemon Jurassic Park game.
No, I haven't.
You did?
I did.
It was on the blog.
I did for a day, and then I turned it off because it wouldn't update, and I just got bored of it.
The company made the other Jurassic Park game, so I already knew it weren't going to be very good. But apparently they have some weird thing where they offer you the chance to spend $10 a month to join their special club.
They do. They have a subscription.
Lots of cool stuff is paywalled, then sort of it's heavily geared towards pulling you into the... And apparently as well, like if you run out of stuff or something goes wrong, you can just watch an advert and go around. It's all very geared towards them making money.
It is funny because you send out a drone and then you hit dinosaurs with the drone, and then when you hit it, it moves around it moves around the cities, but it just goes through houses. It's just like, this is silly. So I got bored of it. It's not very good.
I mean, it's intended to do a job at it, to say, oh, is there something Jurassic Park out at the moment? Oh, yep, there's the film. Brilliant. Although Pokemon Go is getting a bit like that. They've announced that Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee are coming out in...
that was cool. Though.
Mate, I well want a Switch already. Not because of that. I've been desperately... That's another thing. I'm frustrated that all my money's kind of going towards the holiday and that, and I'm thinking, I need to buy a Switch. And then they announced this.
Get one duty free. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
It won't be Americanized.
Who cares? Just get an adapter for the plug. It's just a USB charger anyway.
Right.
That's a good point.
I'll consider it. I'll see if I can somehow convince my wife to inflate our holiday budget and then refuse to let her spend it when we're out there.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Convince her that we got mugged. I did this when I went to Germany. I convinced her I needed to take, 500 quid with me, and then went the whole week on 100 quid, and then came back and just told her I spent it all, and I can't remember what I bought, but it was something good with the money. My mates were really annoyed with me.
Vanilla beer that you brought home with you, or banana beer, or
cherry beer. But that was with my last €5. That was, but my last €5 other than the several €100 I'd stashed away. So yeah, that tactic might work. Someone needs to go and make cryptocurrency good again so that I can use that fund to buy the Switch, because I was supposed to have a Switch by Easter. That was the plan.
We got one instead.
Yeah, if only you'd have bought one in January instead of that stupid cryptocurrency.
Well, I had £70, and I was trying to turn £70 into £400 so I could buy a Switch with games. It'll happen. It'll all go up by the end of the year. It'll be fine. But yeah, I want all the games I want to play are on the Switch at the moment, other than Detroit. I did buy it because I did a video about it the other day, and I was saying that that Fallout game does sound really cool from what I've read, but then they're all rumours, it turns out. But I wanted to play that. The Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu ones, though, they've suddenly done a tie-in with Pokemon Go on that, where anything you catch from Gen 1 can go into the Switch game.
Oh.
Yeah. And I already foresee a dilemma, but if you buy the game and you connect it to your Pokemon Go account, then they send you a Pokemon from Generation 8, which isn't out yet. It's out next year. But you'd get that Pokemon in November as like a preview. And I was all excited, thinking that'd be awesome. I could get that. I'll be one ahead on Gen 8. It'll be a Pokemon that I could put in gyms and stuff and show off with. And then I thought, my son's going to want it. And am I going to be the kind of monster dad who says no to a 5-year-old, 6-year-old who'll be done, who's as into Pokemon as I am? I'm kind of thinking, do I spend the next few months warding him off it so he hates it by then and then I can just be selfish? Or do I submit and let him have it and then hate him for it?
What do you make of the Pokeball, Pokemon Go thing?
I think the whole thing looks great. When I read about it,
I was really cool.
Yeah. I was a little bit like, this, because I thought this was the big game they were talking about, but the big game's next year. So when I found out that this is just a side game, it's more like Pokemon Stadium, Colosseum, and those games, except it's Pokemon Red remade. Well, it's a side game, is what I'm saying.
It's a full game.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Red remade in 3D, full on.
That's fine by me.
Yeah, but it's got like the grind is taken out of it. You don't go and, which is good. You don't go and like level up Pokemon. You just go and you catch a Bulbasaur, you wander into a dungeon and you catch a Chansey or whatever. They're there to see and walk into. You don't fight anyone other than other trainers. It's kind of more like levels and missions in a way. Like you have to get through this gauntlet of people you're playing against. You have to go and beat Team Rocket, which obviously they weren't as powerful consoles, but in them you had to go and fight like 20 gym leaders or work your way up to the top or just beat the computer 20 times or whatever. And the moment I saw this was 2-player, that was when I was just like, I need this. Because Oliver's trying to play Pokemon, one of them blue or red or and he's trying to play blue, red, and gold that he's found lying around, and he can't read, bless him. So I don't know how he's doing it, because my daughter can read, and she's tried to play these games, and she just ends up throwing it down and wandering off and not touching it and thinks it's the most frustrating thing in the world. I don't know where to go. Why isn't this working? Why isn't it listening to me? What am I supposed to do? I look at him, and he's on like the 3rd gym, and he's wandering around in a dungeon, and I'm thinking, how has he got that far? And like, he's played it for long enough to get that far. It's not that he's just turned it on. I was there when he started it. His character's just called A. Do, so he just hit the move button or the continue button. I think pretty much somehow he managed to name himself and his rival.
Yeah, but that sounds very familiar for young Andy. When he plays games, he plays them in French.
There you go.
He plays The Simpsons in French, so it's not that he knows what. He's not playing because he can read. He's playing it because he's like, this is the best thing. I'm going to try and do everything I can.
It's obviously a well-designed game where you don't
well, exactly.
play it without having to read.
Yeah, he can just grind through it, which, I mean, I did check, and it does say like 3 up, so they've obviously thought about it and said, but as I say, my 9-year-old tries to play a Pokemon game and just gets frustrated with how ridiculously unintuitive it is for her. I think she's just not a gamer, and he is. Which is a shame, you know. I think she'll get into it eventually. But when we sat playing, again, I should have looked up the cycling game's name when I was talking about it earlier briefly. But again, we sat down. I was average at it. Lamp Up was falling all over the place and basically making the bike do things none of us knew it could do because she was failing that much. And then Bosco took over and just cycled through the path straight to the finish line, probably fell off once, and we all looked at him like, you're a pro, you're a gamer, this is ridiculous. And he just seems to be naturally good at it all. He beat me at Sonic when we were playing on the I can't remember, like one of the time trial races where you got the screen split and you're both running right basically, and he managed to just jump at all the right points and everything, whereas I slipped up twice and he beat me, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So I'm basically being demasculated or whatever, by my 5-year-old at the moment. He's becoming the man in the house.
Get some of that. Get a bit more of that cream on your head.
Yeah.
Right. Are we talking about movies and TV?
Yeah, sure.
How was Deadpool?
Excellent.
Brilliant.
You've not seen it yet?
No, I need to see it at the weekend. I was alarmed that 2 people told me it wasn't very good, so I'm very pleased.
But they're idiots.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know whether they're just the sort of people who watched. One of them is the sort of person who gets really into all the big fads. So like when Pokemon Go came out, they acted like it was the most amazing thing ever, and it was the game they've been waiting for their entire lives. And then a month later, they didn't like it anymore, and they still now go, I can't believe you're still playing that. And I'm like, yeah, but I was actually into it, and like you guys are actually into Deadpool, so you probably liked it. Whereas they liked it when it was a fad 2 years ago, and now they think it's it's Deadpool. So it's interesting to hear that it is good. I'm relieved because I'd written off seeing it a little bit in the back of my mind, I think.
No, you need to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's a good one.
Okay. Excellent.
Just don't watch it in the O2 because the cinema's too hot in there.
Yeah. Probably see it in our local showcase or
it would be much more comfortable there.
Cool.
Is that it for TV and movies? Did we just skip through that really quickly? That was marvellous.
I've finished damn it, what did I finish?
Not this sentence.
No. I've completely iZombie. Fantastic season. Go watch if you haven't watched the most recent season of that. It went next level. Like I thought it was just me and my wife that were enjoying it, but on Reddit, for example, they're saying that that's the program that is reinventing zombies and making zombie programs awesome. Walking Dead's obviously turned to poo. I'm sure you've seen all the awful facts that are coming out about how they're destroying that show even further at the moment. But I've
not even been paying attention. I saw that Andrew Lincoln's leaving, and that was it.
They're making an insane decision to give Daryl the lead role.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a train wreck. But iZombie was so freaking good.
They're cancelling that though, aren't they?
No, they're giving it another season to finish it, basically.
One last season.
Which is, again, I feel like that's a sign of quality because they're just going, finish it off, finish your story. You've got a year to finish it, wrap it up. Which is, it wouldn't have been able to go any further. It's basically at fever pitch now. Like zombies.
No. No, you can't do that.
All right.
Because I want to watch it. I just need time to watch it. Because somebody at uni have already spoiled it for me. I don't want anyone
I would happily watch this at tea time every day, Anna. I loved this, but we never made it out the first season because you got bored of it.
We're on the second season, so that's where you're wrong, Kevin.
Well, I don't think I am. I think you've been watching it without me.
I haven't watched any without you, Kevin.
You should both watch it because it is... It gets better for sure. There's certain times where we got a bit tired of it. I didn't think that Kirsty liked it, but it turns out she did. My wife.
Claire?
I asked her what she wanted to be called on the internet because I kept calling her my wife, and not in that accent. It just reminded me of that whenever I said it, because I didn't want to call her Kirsty, and I didn't know whether she wanted me to use her real name. And she said, "Just go with Kirsty." I think
Kev wins again.
I think she liked the fact that we all had pseudonyms, but I think it's also slightly work related. So every time I've tried to explain that I'm going to call her Kirsty, I've either accidentally called her Claire or, like you just did, used her name. So it's backfiring a little bit because we're making people more aware of her name. But
her name's Kirsty, so it's not hard.
I was going to have a little confusion about Supergirl, Kev. Is her story meant to involve her stumbling across half of Krypton living on a meteorite? Is that something from her actual story, or is that something...
No idea. I've never read any Supergirl.
I was going to ask you another question about it that you can't answer then, but I will still want to cast aspersions and show my peevedness about the show. Every week now, they just pick a random... I don't like using the phrase social justice warrior because I'm probably one myself, but 3 weeks ago they had a whole scene of Jimmy Olsen crying because he was afraid of revealing his identity because he was the first black superhero in the world, which I wasn't sure who they were referring to exactly because in their universe, Black Lightning exists. In our universe, there are loads of black superheroes. In that specific city, okay, maybe not, but Martian Manhunter's black. And I was just watching it thinking, what's going on? But they were trying to make this whole race issue in it. Then the next week, they did this whole convicts who leave prison deserve a second chance because they've served their time message. And then there was a message about, obviously, Kara's adopted sister is a lesbian. And then there was it was like every week there's just, which social concern are we going to focus the entire episode around now? And then end it like an episode of Scrubs where they all learn a moral of the story and we should all feel a bit more enlightened. And I'm like...
This is because it's on the CW and that's what the CW has to do.
No, but Arrow, Flash and Legends of Tomorrow don't do that. So why have they picked Supergirl to do that with? Because Supergirl should just be Supergirl.
Both Arrow and Flash have done that at times.
Well, because I had this conversation with Kirsty, and she pointed out that, like, once in Arrow there was this whole fathers have rights too thing they'd kind of done, which I agreed with her, but that was a little bit lame. But they only did it for like an episode or two. In the Flash, it's only really been Iris is as much as part of the team as anybody else, even though she's not powerful, not powered, I mean. And that's kind of worked. She's probably one of my favourite characters now. When you consider how I was moaning last year, she's awesome now. They've really made an effort to... But they've not... I think they've fixed some of the silly stuff, like #feminism that she kept saying at one point. But Supergirl, they just seem to have decided she's going to be the one we're going to just pin all of the stuff that no one really wants to have to hear on, and I don't get it because that's probably the one that's got the most stuff they could have just done because it's the whole Superman universe. It's got the whole Krypton thing. It's got all of the other stuff. I mean, she had the lead, what I called not the Legionnaires, that's a disease, isn't it? The like future people that come back. There's like a brainy fella and a really, really fit woman from the future and her boyfriend who's from Daxon. And they all come back with these special rings and super technology and they're from like the year 3000 or something.
Do they live underwater?
No, and they didn't buy Bastard's 7th album either.
Holy smoke.
That was very cool, but then they tied it into some other social justice thing. So it's all a bit weird. I don't get why they've chosen to do that. Hopefully it's just what they do in the 3rd or 4th season, and then they go on to be awesome again. What was I going to say? I'm also watching the Arrested Development remix. Have you seen that they did this?
What do you think of this? I started watching it, and I'm like, I don't remember watching 4 at all. Maybe I haven't, because I was like, I don't know any of this.
I'm enjoying it. I thought some of the story that is in this season was in the season prior, and it's not. Like I thought that maybe became a film director in this season, but they're referencing it having happened last year. And then there's something else I thought happened this year that happened last year. But then there's loads of bits that I forgot about entirely, like Job and Anne trying to get married and stuff like that. I've forgotten the whole character of Anne. She's in loads of things now. It's quite famous. So yeah, I'm glad I'm rewatching this first before I go into season 5. I thought I wasn't going to end up getting to see season 5 because they obviously derailed themselves with all that scandal that came out last week. They weren't at Comic-Con in the end, were they?
Were they not?
No, because
really?
The dad has been abusing people left, right, and centre, and it's all over the press. And then what's his name? The main guy, Bateman, is it?
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
He
kind of excused it, didn't he?
Yeah, he said like, "Oh, these things happen in acting. Everyone's a bumhead, don't worry about it." And she was like, "But I'm the victim, and I'm really offended," and blah blah blah. And he hadn't really thought about how he basically dismissed her opinion and how she felt and all of this. So they basically just said, "We're cancelling the whole talk. Get rid of it." And yeah, didn't get to see him.
Shame. What a shame.
But I wondered if either of you had seen season not if you're watching 4 and Kev.
No.
All I did when the Netflix reboot thing, I watched half the first episode, it was rubbish, and I turned it off and didn't go back to it.
Do you know what, actually? That's a point, and you probably won't listen to this, but I watched the first one on my own and was like, God, this isn't very good at all. And then I mentioned to Kirsty that season 5 was coming out, and she said, I want to watch it. And I was like, well, I've already seen episode 1. It's rubbish. Let's carry on where I left off. It's like midway through episode 2. And by like 3, we were hooked again. I think we've watched 10 now in the space of like 2 days. So
yeah,
it does pick up. Sorry, go on.
Go on, you're right, Sheepdog.
Well, I was going to say, it's Buster that I hated in the first episode back, but even he's got quite entertaining. And once Job's in it,
4, sorry,
4.
Yeah, because I've heard that the re-edit of it that he's done is supposed to be like night and day sort of thing. Like it's supposed to work wonders on it. But I don't know because
it does seem a lot better.
Yeah. So you might want to give it another go, Kev, because it is supposed to be. It's supposed to like say. Absolutely.
Why? I don't understand. Why have they re-edited it? Explain.
Well, it was originally filmed in a different way because no one could get time to be together. So they filmed it like they aired it like it was filmed. Like they did an episode where it was all a joke story.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and watch. So like Lindsay went away on a trip abroad to find herself, and all this stuff happened, and then another episode, Tobias went abroad to find himself, and you saw it from his perspective. All her stuff was going on in the background, and noises that had happened in hers were him making the noise or whatever. And, it was all kind of twisted in like that to make you go, oh, I see. Whereas they've just done it in chronological order this time, and it makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
It's worth a watch, I imagine. Give it a go.
I've just noticed that there's about 100 tiny little midgy bugs on my ceiling above my light because somebody left the living room window open.
You idiot.
Well, I didn't know it was open. I didn't open it.
I think you left it open. This sounds like Sheepdog's fault. Do we all agree it was Sheepdog's fault? Good.
Yep.
Is that it for TV and movies then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be.
Well, that makes it Comics O'Clock. Anna, are you sticking around for Comics O'Clock? Has Anna already gone?
Sounds like it.
Oh,
No.
Oh, no, you are there. Are you sticking around for comics?
No.
Say bye-bye then.
I'll shut this window because some idiots are playing music out front.
Where can people find you on Twitter, Anna?
Just find Kevin and then on my... It's not most people. Oh, Lord, what is that?
Okay, bye-bye then, Anna.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Anna.
Bye.
Right, comics.
Yeah.
I believe we went to a comic convention last weekend.
Yes.
And you purchased lots of stuff because you're a crazy person.
I'm stupidly...
What's he shouting about?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a prick or anything. They're little. Thank you. See you later. Cheers.
Talking to Kirsty.
He's talking to the kids outside playing loud music. What I did stupidly, I've bought 4 more volume 1s. That's the stupid thing that I've done.
You are a silly bear.
It's all right, Kev, because I've righted that wrong this week.
What you've
by throwing more money at the problem.
Oh, that sounds like the solution. Any collector would have.
Well, do you remember I said over the weekend that I have like lessened the ban on digital comics, and I'm more. Well, I spent 70 quid on Comixology yesterday.
Well, yeah, I've been down that road before.
Admittedly,
what sale is on? What should I get involved in?
I had a 50% off voucher, so I used it.
Where do I get one of those from?
It was on yesterday. I'm surprised you didn't get.
Thanks for letting me know, Pub.
How do you not get the emails from?
I don't read emails. I get hundreds of emails a day. I don't read them.
It's a good point. I just assumed you'd get the email. I thought, shall I message you? I thought he'll have the email as me. He'll know. I bought 4 volumes of Black Science, 3 volumes of Sex Criminals, and 3 volumes of Descender. I've got 10. I bought 10 trades, and it cost me 35 quid.
Nice.
And I thought to myself, because those 3 in particular were big, like really good books that I started to read and then just kept buying volume 1s and never got back to them. So now so I was like, right, I'm going to finish this pile that I've bought now, these volume 1s that I've bought, and then I'm just going to start reading digital, like all these, getting caught up with these things, and like, it's a space issue for me now. It was nice to have the fact that I prefer to read a physical book, but I've now got probably 6 or 7 long boxes full of books, and I need more. I need another one and it will fill it instantly. So it's just got to a stage
I've still never purchased a long box.
Yeah, I just used because I was just stacking books, and I was like, I don't know where to put these.
What you need is a studio set with them all behind you across 2 massive IKEA bookcases.
Yeah, so it's pretty much. I would bet I would fill probably 3 shelves on your things now with books, easy, probably more. But yeah, so I'm back on digital in a sense of similar to your ruling. Realistically, if I like the book, I will probably buy it. Buy a physical copy, I mean by that. So like, say, Saga maybe, or Wicked and Divine. So I'm back on digital for all them trades that I've got now. So I've got, like, say, 10 trades to go through. And I realised I've got, like, loads of different trades on there. I didn't realise I had up to volume 6 of Saga already. I'm a maniac. I didn't realise I must have bought them in a stupidly cheap sale. I just realised, I was like, I've got loads of books on here. I never knew I bought. So, I'm back in. But I read volume 1 of Extremity. I told you this last week, didn't I?
You did.
I've read it. It's quite good. It's quite good. It was on because the Eisner Award nominations came out a few weeks ago, wasn't it? So I just instantly went through it and went, okay, which trades do I want to know about? And I got Extremity Volume 1. And it's a good book. It's all right, I'd say. It's about, like, it's a revenge story going on, set on this, like, it seems post-apocalyptic kind of world. I don't think it's Earth. But they got like hover bike type things and, like, So it's got some bit of technology in it, and they've got robots in it and stuff. So this one clan of like people get attacked by this other clan and get pretty much decimated by them, and it's about this revenge story of this small clan that have now had this big old set of land or what have you, and it's been decimated, and the entire clan is living on this tiny ship now. That's all that's left. So they built for years of rebuilding this clan to go back and start picking off like lieutenants of this other army that beat them one at a time. And the stories of the top guy in the clan, like the leader and his son and daughter. And it's like I say, it's a revenge story, and how the family sort of knit together, and how where the conflict is in family and what have you. It's a good book. It's all right. Like I say, I did read it all happily. I wasn't like bored or anything. But I just think this it didn't like grab me like say a Saga does or a Paper Girls or whatever you does. So like I say, it might not get any further reading. Let's put it that way. We don't know. We'll see. It might get a digital sale. We'll have to see. No, I'm doing that. What else have I read? I've read Royal City Volume 1 this week as well. Have you heard of Royal City?
I have not heard of this.
Royal City I enjoyed Royal City a lot more. It's by Jeff Lemire, the guy who never stops working.
Yeah, both drawing and writing, isn't he? Is he the one who draws as well?
Yes. This is all him. Draws it, writes it, probably colours it as well, I imagine. I don't know. It's insane. So the story is based on a family all living in Royal City, as it were, and it's all from it starts off with your perspective of just the dad, and the dad has a stroke and he goes into hospital, and all the family comes back home, and it's all based on this one of the kids who is effectively who's died. And they all see him differently. They all see like this ghost of, like they all see him sort of thing in when they all come home, or some of them live there still, and they all have different visions of like the different ideologies of how this kid. So one of them sees him as still as a child a kid who used to babysit. One of them sees him as a bit of a dosser. The mum sees him as like as a reverend who's like all that no one's perfect sort of thing, and it's kind of told through the perspective of each individual family member and the dead kid as well. It's a really good book. It's a really good book. I mean, like I say, I quite like this guy, Jeff Lemire. He does a lot. He does so many different books. He does
lots of X-Men stuff. He drew After Dark, I think, if I remember.
But he does
after death, AD After Death, not After Dark.
Yes, he does the Black Science that I mentioned earlier. He does. Does he do? He doesn't do Deadly Class, does he?
No.
But he does so many different things. But this guy, this is a really good book. Like I say, this was in the Eisner and nominated again, and it's like I say, for me, the main story is around one particular character, one of the brothers who's a famous writer, and he got famous from writing this one book called Royal City, and the story is based on a book that is the dead brother, basically the dead brother's journal. And the ghost of him is saying, "Can I have my book back? I need my story back." And he's going, "No, I need." And the guy is trying to write another book. And he's on the deadline of like a month to finish his book. They want the money back, and he's trying to write this book. And this ghost of his brother is going, "I want my book back." And it's just really cool. It's a really cool book. If I had to recommend one book that I haven't done in a while, I would recommend this one. It's really good. It's so good. There's, like I say, just so much going on in that. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not going to say anymore.
I have to check it out then.
By the way,
are you looking in the Discord chat at the moment? What Sheepdog's just posted in there. Sheepdog's not here right now because he's just hoovering his ceiling.
Oh, I did not see that at all.
What is wrong with that boy?
So
I'm back now. No, I wasn't. Kirsty was hoovering it. No, I muted it.
Hello, Kirsty.
Sorry.
I was muted till just then.
Say hello to Kirsty for me.
Kev says hello, Kirsty.
No hello back then. Interesting. That was rude.
She was too busy exiting the room to say hello.
Well.
Kev says say hello.
Hi.
Hello. There you go. See.
There you go.
No, we left the living room window open and like a billion bugs to come in and congregated around the window.
You shouting at kids as well?
I didn't shout at them at all. If you play back the video, I basically said, "Folks, I've got 3 kids upstairs. Can we not do this? I'm not trying to be a knob." But
what did it tell you to do? Did it tell you to do one?
It was funny actually. The kid on the left started with, "You what? You want us to?" And the girl next to him went, "Mate, he's got 3 kids upstairs trying to sleep. Let's just move on." And I was like, "Thank you. See you later." And I just said, "Cheers, mate." And off we went. It was
well done, Sheepdog.
handled perfectly.
Huge situation.
I had a quick look on our little estate group, and someone else had been having a meltdown because they were outside their house playing football. So, yeah, it's all fun and games in this weird little suburb I live in now.
Yes.
I feel like I'm the soccer mum from Orphan Black at the moment in this place.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit random. Keep going about your comments.
I got it. What else have I read? I've read Barrier Volume 4. Have you read it, Kev?
I haven't.
Have you read Volume 3?
I haven't. You can't read Volume 3.
Have you looked at Volume 3 then?
I haven't opened any of them yet because Forbidden Planet have messed up somehow and they didn't send me my number 4, but I've had a dispatch notice for my number 5.
Really?
I don't want to read it until I can read all of them together.
Bonkers.
But 5's on its way and 4 isn't. And I don't know what's going on.
I've not had a dispatch for 5. It's weird.
Oh, they're just the worst mail order company in the world. Yeah, they're a fantastic shop, but they just cannot post stuff properly ever.
A Mickey Mouse organisation.
It is.
It's so bad. If there was any other way, I would do it any way, but I can't find any other delivery, that will deliver comic books to my door, like single issue, or, Amazon are like 3 weeks behind them for whatever reason. Comic book shops get them earlier. But if Amazon go day and date with comic books, I would be all over that because they're reliable. Whereas Forbidden Planet I've got a book I think I still got a book from 2 years ago, still on order. I'm just letting it run, just seeing how long they go before they cancel my order. They let me buy a book, and then they waited I waited 6 months before I went, "Where's my book?" And they went, "We haven't actually got it in stock."
6 months.
They went, "We haven't actually got it in stock at the minute." I was like, "All right, okay." That was it. I went, "Okay, let's leave it again. Let's leave it a year."
I've been waiting for them to do the next saga. I think it's 52 or something. I might be wrong. Because Close Encounters in Peterborough said they had it in stock, and I thought, I'll get it on Amazon, rather than supporting my local comic book shop. And they haven't got it, or they didn't have it when I last checked.
Yeah, it's Amazon's hit and miss sometimes with these things as well. There seems to be a lot of third parties on Amazon. They don't sell a comic book directly other than the trades. So, but yeah, Barrier 4 is another good issue for me. So it always strikes me as a very colourful, vibrant book. Even though I can't read half of it because half of it's in Spanish.
Learn Spanish then. This is your opportunity to learn some Spanish. Get a bit of culture, for goodness sake.
Well, I might have to, but it's fine. It's another one of these Brian K. Vaughan books that sort of leave you intrigued, interested. Like it's all the same, really, to me. These books have been just fine. Nothing mind blowing. But then again, what do you expect? It's not. It's the stuff that's been on his website for how long, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like So it's not like as if it was that good, he would have it out already, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? It's not Paper Girl. It's not Saga. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not offensive. How many you say 5 there are, aren't there?
Yeah.
5. So I mean, there's one more to go.
Yeah, and I've had the dispatch notification for that, so you should have it.
Well,
early next week. It'll be finished off.
If you get
yours,
but
I'm never going to get a 4, apparently.
Well, if you get yours for me, we'll swap. You send me that one, and I'll send you one, and then we'll swap them back.
Yeah. I'm close to going into the shop in Peterborough and just picking up number 4 and just saying, look, don't bother. I don't know how I pre-ordered all 5 of them together and somehow you've not had number 4 for me. I don't understand how that can even be a thing. because you've sent me the first 3, you've sent me the 5th one. How have you not sent?
Why doesn't Pab just read the 4th one to you
in Spanish?
I want it. I want to do a Skype voice call so I can see the pretty pictures as well. If I wanted words, I'd read the newspaper and get some knowledge.
Yeah. Mm. But yeah, that's all I've read. So what have you read?
I'm still just ploughing through Marvel Unlimited. I was quite restrained at Comic-Con. I only bought Black Magic Volume 2. That was the only book I bought the entire weekend, and it's still sat on my desk. I haven't touched it yet, even though I am very keen to read it. But because we've been all over the country, travelling everywhere this week, there's never been a time where I'm allowed to be in bed with the lamp on. No, I'm only allowed the lamp on if me and Anna go to bed at the same time. But because it's been so hectic, I've been crawling into bed gone midnight every night when she's already asleep. So at that point, I can only read on my iPad because she moans. Apparently, it's inconsiderate turning your bedside lamp off when the person next to you's already asleep. I don't see it myself. Just if you're asleep, keep your eyes shut. What's the problem?
This is so uncanny because this argument is one that I've had so many times. She's allowed her bedside lamp on whenever she wants, and mine can't go on to read.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to read on my iPad when this is going on.
I started doing is laying the iPad next to me on full brightness and reading a book from the light of the iPad. It really hurts your eyes, though.
Yeah, I've mastered balancing my phone on my shoulder, leaning back onto my pillow to do exactly that, which is allowed apparently. Yeah, even though it's I don't know. I don't think it's the light from the lamp that wakes her up. I think it's the click of the switch. You've put your lamp on. That's not allowed.
I did also get Kirsty an eye mask, but she doesn't like wearing it. I think she just worries that I'm going to burgle the place or, I don't know, start pulling faces out while it's on.
I put a pillow over Anna's face, and apparently that's not the done thing.
Well, if it is, you do it harder next time.
But so I've been stuck on my iPad. I still haven't read the latest issue of Wicked and the Divine. Sat on there. I've not opened Comixology because I am properly stuck into. That. Well, spoil it and die. But I'm just really stuck into Marvel Unlimited at the moment, getting my money's worth on this like never before. I've now finished the entire Captain Marvel run that I was reading, which has been superb. I'm now very excited about that movie. I'd never read any Captain Marvel before. And goodness me, is she a good character. She's up there with Wonder Woman for levels of awesomeness. So I've really enjoyed that. And that's kind of led me towards, because that run that I was reading ended at the start of Secret Wars, and the Miss Marvel run that I was reading ended at Secret Wars. And I've had the Secret Wars book on my shelf for like 2 years. And it's kind of led me back into what led me down this road of picking runs of good characters in the first place. And I've started reading Secret Wars, and I don't have a clue what's going on. I'm like 3 issues into it. I'm not reading any of the tie-ins because the tie-ins are ridiculous for this. You look on the tie-in page on Marvel Unlimited, and it's Planet Hulk issue 1, Spider-Verse issue 1, and I'm thinking, all right, straight away, they're massive. If they're just the tie-in books, how much homework have I got to do to be able to enjoy this event? So I've got 2 issues into the event, and I've just given up. So I've moved past it and carried on with Miss Marvel, and I'm now on the lookout for a new character. And I can't remember whether I mentioned it to you last weekend or if I was talking about it on stream the other night. But I think my next stop is Spider-Woman, because Spider-Woman has been fantastic in the Captain Marvel run, and I want more Spider-Woman. But what I don't want, and this is why I've not started reading her yet, I don't want Spider-Woman to lead to everything else spidery, because I've tried reading Spider-Man before, and it's just a minefield that I don't want to be a part of. There's too much interwoven nonsense. I never know what universe I'm in, how old Peter Parker is, who this fella who's not Peter Parker, who Spider-Man is. And it just, it's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. So I might just give up on her completely and just go for, I don't know, who might be next on my list, who I've always wanted to read and I haven't. I might go back and do some more X-Men. Because that's how complicated Spider-Man looks. I'm actually willing to go and read more X-Men.
You're not wrong there. I've looked at that. It is all interwoven sort of thing. So I don't think you can just read Spider-Woman solely. I don't think. I really don't think. Because then you've got Silk at some point as well.
But she's such a good character.
Oh yeah. I like Spider-Woman a lot. But I looked into it as well, and I was like, I just don't know where to start with this, because she's in a lot of Spider-Gwen stuff. And I was like, I just don't know where to start. And I think that's why I've given up on Spider-Gwen, because it just, you've got to follow this, and you've got to follow this Spider-Man one, and then you've got to, I was like, I can't be bothered.
So I need a new iconic Marvel run. I've now done the Matt Fraction Hawkeye. I've done the Jason Aaron Thor. I've done the Kelly Sue DeConnick Captain Marvel. I've done the whole Kamala Khan reboot of Ms. Marvel.
Did you do? Did you do She-Hulk?
No.
I've heard relatively recent She-Hulks have been all right.
Maybe I'll have a look at She-Hulk there. But then again, Hulk in general is something I've never read. So do I need to know what's going on in?
I don't know that. I don't know either about that.
Because that's another one where it just looks so confusing with different coloured Hulks and different people being Hulks and just who's Amadeus? Who's Amadeus Cho? Is that his name? Who on earth's he? Where's Bruce Banner gone?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't know. Have a look.
I need something simple. I need something relatively self-contained and quite simple that exists in the Marvel universe that I can read in like 30 or 40 issues. I don't want it to be something that goes on forever. I just want a nice little contained 30 or 40 issue thing. And I'm on the hunt for it. So if anyone wants to recommend one to me, you know where to find me. The internet is where to find me.
I'm not going to spoil Wicked and Divine for you, but I was hoping you'd both read it. Have you read it, Pat?
No, I'm only on trades, mate, so I don't. I'm way behind.
It feels like they've been trying to find any trick they can to extend or slow it down or what, I don't know. But trying to remember how many pages it was now. The first, 4 or 5 plus pages of the most recent comic I'm not going to say what it was, but it was just the same thing. Again and again and again and again and again. And I kept thinking, okay, I get it. All right. Still going then. Okay. I get it. And I wonder whether someone more eagle-eyed could go through the pictures and go, okay, ooh, there's something there. Whereas I was just like, right, okay, can we stop now? Nope. All right. We're going to keep going, are we?
Glitched copy.
I don't think so.
You weren't hitting continue correctly.
No, because
I'm having a look at it now.
Because the year was changing in each picture.
Okay, let's have a little look. Let old Kev decipher it.
It was cool, but it was just like you've just done. It felt like half a comic, and it probably wasn't at all. It was late at night, and I wasn't in the mood for their antics. But it just little things like that lately. They feel like they're fluffing.
Oh, that's a really cool sequence. I like that.
Yeah, it just seemed a bit long.
It's the first. Hold on. Wow. Okay. Jeez, it's still going.
Yeah. See what I mean?
The first
couple of thousand
12
years.
pages. Look.
Oh, really?
That is a bit much. But it's
12 pages. It is cool, but it's not when you've read. I sat there looking at them, thinking, well, what era is that? Trying to think about anything I knew about it and that sort of thing. And by the 12th page, then, because I thought it was less than that.
Hold on, the sequence starts on page 4 and goes through to page 14, so it's 10 pages of repetition. But in its defence, it's a 28-page book. So, yes, they've done that, but they've given you 6 extra pages as compensation for it.
I'll allow it. Because I was just like, crikey, I want the story to progress. It's an awesome story, and it's coming to that big, end kind of... I don't even know how many more expected to have.
It was 2 more trades at the start of this year, plus another standalone. So 12... If we've had, 3 issues of this arc? So there's 9 issues left after this one, plus another one-shot.
Right. So you sort of think to yourself, if there's 9 left and a one-shot, making a quarter of this one, that was but then I suppose it's relevant. It's got to be relevant, hasn't it? Or if it's not relevant, it's just making a point, which was well made.
It was. I mean, just flicking through it at hyper speed, it was a very, very, very. So I could see that as 10 posters on my wall.
Yeah, I kept thinking that. Imagine having it as just a picture streaming along.
Yeah,
or something. They're such good artists. I can't wait to see what they do next and that sort of thing. But No, I was just like, are you kidding? What else did I read? I mean, I have literally just been reading the monthlies of each thing now. I mean, the most recent Giant Days was good. I'm trying to think what else.
Did you spend any pennies at Comic-Con?
I bought the Thor run. There is only 3, isn't there? I suddenly thought after I asked you, I bought the 3 that they had, but I didn't know. I haven't read them yet because I was trying to decide whether to jump into them or work through my pile of shame or save them all for the holiday and just read the monthlies. I caught up on Saga as well, which I mentioned, didn't I? But there's characters in that I didn't think I particularly cared about, and then it's not. I'm not going to say who dies or what, but characters do die in the story. It's a long, big story, and I was actually surprised how much I cared that some of the characters had died because they're just characters that I was starting to enjoy, and I guess that's good writing in it. They've made me enjoy them, and then they've killed them off. But no, it's a shame that I've not just got that finished and ready to read. It would be nice if I could just forget it exists for 10 years and then pick up wherever it is then. Finished, I assume, by that point. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that with this story. I feel like it deserves to be read in big chunks.
Splendid. I think I'm probably about 10 issues behind on that now, so probably need to get caught up. I might read myself a big chunk. So I've been buying it monthly. It's there. It's out on my iPad. Just haven't played it or read it. Haven't played it or read it. There you go. Got to start playing these comics again.
I want them to make that into a film, but I don't think they'll do it justice or a show. But
yeah, it would need to be a TV show. I don't see how you could possibly do it as a movie.
Yeah, and then Sci-Fi also want to pick it up, and it'd just be a really poor budget.
And they'd have to put the half an episode of teen drama into it that all patients get.
Yeah.
Right, you can have you can have a quarter of an episode of story, half an episode of teen drama and angst, and then don't forget your 20 minutes of adverts.
Imagine if the CW picked it up.
I don't think it matters who. Runaways was on Sci-Fi and it's just as bad. It's one of the great comic stories and it's just turd. Just absolutely.
I almost bought Runaways and then thought it'd only make me angry about the TV show. So I left it be. I just thought, no, I need to enjoy Thor for me to bother with any Marvel stuff, I think.
If you don't enjoy Thor, there's something wrong with you.
It's not. I'm not worried about it being Thor. I'm worried about Marvel's writing style. Seems to just not their writing style, even their font and the way they lay out the speech bubbles just doesn't sit right with me. And every time I've tried to read them, they always start with the character cracking jokes on the first page.
You ain't getting that in Thor.
Okay, good, because that always gets on my nerves. Like you start Spider-Man, or you start. It wasn't just Spider-Man. I'm trying to think who else it was. I read like the Captain America one. I read an X-Men one, and literally the first page or two is just the hero quipping and joking. And I thought, yeah, okay, I get it. You want to be funny, but not every comic every time. It just seemed a bit odd. Yeah, you can almost tell where the breaks were. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you definitely won't get any of that with Thor.
Cool.
It's just very well written.
Excellent. Although they use the Asgard font in the Thor ones, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. I'll probably get used to it.
Just get your Asgard to English dictionary ready for translating the font for you.
Google got to translate for that on the app, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it would be handy if I could have just made the book change to like Calibri or something.
Goodness me. You're ruining an art form here.
I'll get used to it.
People spend their lives dedicating themselves to letter comics, and you want Calibri.
Well, in Dark Metal, they had this irritating thing where there was, I can't remember what they called him. I think he was like the one who laughs. And he was like one of the main villains of the whole story. But they chose to do everything he said in this red, gothic, blood font that was impossible to read. So I just guessed what he was saying most of the time because I couldn't read it. Which I don't know how some of these get through the quality control. The Asgardian font is okay enough to read. It's just a little bit uncomfortable. But the font for him talking in Dark Metal was just like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Pab, remember me asking for no racism today? Sheepdog's here with the font racism.
Could you reach the end of the show? Although we have heard this past week.
Those 4 people who contacted us are listening. So apologies if you're sensitive about font racism, you 4.
First question: why did you have to tell Pab you didn't want any racism this episode? What did Pab do? It's you that's normally the monster.
You didn't spend the weekend with him. Goodness me.
I forgot. He's Sailor Pab at the weekend, isn't he?
Exactly.
And font racism is allowed.
We'll let the 4 people who are listening decide.
They were awesome for getting in touch to let us know.
Yes.
This is where we find out if they're still listening this week, or whether they just noticed other people tweeting about it. I want the same 4 people to get in touch and say, I listened to the last bit again this week. We should start doing a riddle in the last 2 minutes of each podcast.
That'd be awesome.
I'll let you come up with a riddle. We'll
I just stared at the ceiling and thought, I don't know any riddles.
Well, you've got a week to come up with one for episode 300. That would be the only special thing we do for episode 300. We do a riddle in the last 2 minutes. The first part of a 100-part riddle.
We have to figure something decent out that involves not.
I reckon for once we'll do it with clothes on.
I don't know if I can commit to that.
Well,
I definitely can't if it's still this hot next week.
Yeah. I think we go up to Bolton and do it live from Pab's house.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that.
Well, we know where you live, remember?
Do you? Oh, you do,
You don't get much say in whether or not we just turn up on your doorstep.
Good point. Good point. Well,
right, are we done then?
We are done.
Yeah.
Splendid. Well, let's wrap things up, which means, of course, that all you good people, the 4 of you who are still listening, if despite the fact you've tweeted us this week, I'm going to tell you where to find us on Twitter, which seems a little counterintuitive. We should probably do this bit at the start. But you can follow us on Twitter at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And I'm at RB6K.
And I'm at Pab1986.
We also have a Facebook group at facebook.com/MatureGamerPodcast, which I don't think anybody contacted us on. So none of the mums and dads who are listening, who still use Facebook, none of them listen to this part of the show. So I think we're safe to be rascals on Facebook and no one knows it's happening. And then I've got a YouTube channel, believe it or not. Just go watch the videos on it. In fact, there's actually a reason to watch this week that's not Football Manager, my Detroit series. If you want to see how I played it wrong, according to Anna, to the point where we've now had 2 arguments about it, if you count the one we've had on the show, you need to watch how I did that and how I went wrong, and that's over on my YouTube channel.
Go and check mine as well while you're there, because I'm miles behind Kev, about 3 years behind him, and I need to catch up.
You'll be lucky. See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening.